Hey guys, this lesson is 1.8 in your textbooks, Order of Operations, otherwise known as BEDMAS. And I'll just kind of refresh what BEDMAS stands for, just in case you forget from previous years. So B stands for bracket, and these brackets could be the square root sign as well. So when you see that, you would do what's underneath the square root. E, exponents, so again, working with powers, 3 to the power of 2, something like that. D would be division, M, multiplication, A, addition, and S, subtraction. Okay, I'm going to do this question first before we kind of incorporate the square root symbol. And again, I'm going to put BEDMAS on the bottom here to kind of remind us. The important thing to remember is to always line up the equal sign. So underneath we can start to solve this problem. So again, we look for the B. Are there any brackets in this particular equation? And there isn't any. Then we go to the next one, which is E, and we do have exponents in here. We have powers there. It's 1.5 to the power of 3. So again, that would be, if you expand it out, 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5. And that particular answer ends up being 3.375, which I'm going to then assert into the next line here. So I'm going to just erase this here. So the next line, I write down everything the same. Except I would insert that particular answer. I just figured that out, 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5, and that would be 3.375. Okay? Again, equals. And then I would do the next line. And if we look at the next line here, we looked for if there is division. There isn't. So the next step we would do is multiplication. And you can do the multiplication you can do both, like because there's a multiplication symbol here and a multiplication symbol there, you can do it all at the same time, or if you want to do within 2 different steps, you can do that as well. So if you're doing it in all one step, basically what you're doing is you're multiplying 12 times 12 times 5.5. So 12 times 5.5 is 66. And then keep that minus sign in there, that's there. And then the next step there is 3 times 3.375. So if we were solving that, that ends up being 10.125. So if we do it all in one step, now we're left with 66 minus 10.25, which is 55.875. Okay, we're going to go over another example. So pay close attention to the brackets. Okay, within these brackets here, we have 4.5 plus 2.5 times 8.2 to the power of 2. There's a power of 2 there, plus 4, close bracket, and then we have an exponent on the outside. Again, I'm going to write BEDMAS on the bottom to help us. Now, B stands for bracket. Yeah, there are brackets, which means we do everything that's within the bracket first. But within the bracket, we still follow BEDMAS. So if there was a bracket within the bracket, we would solve that first. There isn't in this case, so we go to the next. E for exponent. We do have that. Okay, we have this power right here. So it's 8.2 to the power of 2. So let's just do that next line. So we keep the bracket, 4.5 plus 2.5 times, and 8 to the power of 2, 67, 0.24 plus 4, close bracket, to the power of 2. Then we do the next step. So we don't have any other powers to deal with within the bracket. Even though we have this power outside of the bracket, we deal with that later because we have to do everything that's within the bracket first. So next would be division. There isn't any division. Next would be multiplication. So we are going to do the multiplication here. So the multiplication is this step here, 2.5 times, can't even read my own writing, 67.24. There we go. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to write the equation plus, and then we're going to solve 2.5 times 67.24, which is 168.1. And then we're going to write the rest. Plus, that's the rest of it there, plus 4, close bracket, and then we're going to have that exponent 2 there. Okay, we've done all the multiplication within the bracket. Next step is addition. And because we are left with all addition, right? There's an addition there and an addition there. So it's basically 4.5 plus 168.1 plus 4. We'll just do it all in one shot. So if you do that on your calculator, it ends up being 176. Oops, sorry. 176.6, yeah. Okay, you can keep that bracket if you need to. You don't have to use the bracket since there's only one number in it, and we still have that power there. So then our next step would actually be to do 176 to the power of 2. Which ends up being 176.6 times 176.6, which gives us this big guy here. Okay, I know there's a lot of steps, and I know it can seem confusing, and you really have to pay close attention to the BEDMAS order. I'll go over one more example with you. Okay, so what do we do in this situation here besides cry? I'm going to break it down, hopefully nice and slow for you, and I would suggest watching this video more than once just to kind of make sure that it sinks in. So first what you want to do is you want to do the small bracket first. So see what's within. So there's lots of different brackets going on. So within a big bracket, you look for the smaller brackets inside. And then within that smaller bracket inside, so again, BEDMAS, we're doing the bracket, then you look at the exponent. So basically the exponent inside the bracket is 6.5 to the power of 2. So on your calculator, if you do 6.5 times 6.5, and you write the next line, basically that ends up being 42.25, and then again you just write the rest of it. Minus 4, close bracket, you have the exponent there, plus, and then everything that's in this bracket here, 40 plus 9 times 9, close bracket to the power of 2. Okay? So now we still want to work with what's in this bracket. So now we have 42.25 minus 4, which gives us 38.25, and then we use that, we have to still write the rest of the question down. So 38.25 to the power of 2 plus, and then we continue this here, 40 plus 9 times 9, close bracket to the power of 2. So then we continue, and again, everything goes from left to right. So again, we're still kind of dealing with this bracket here. So then we would do 38.25 to the power of 2. We would solve that first. That is 1,463, and I don't know if you can hear screaming children in the background. That's kids outside for recess. They're crazy. All right, plus, and then again, we copy down what's in the bracket here. 40 plus 9 times 9, close bracket, to the power of 2. Now we start to solve what's in this, and it's not really a bracket, it's actually, we're talking about squaring numbers underneath this umbrella here. Okay, so we're going to just copy down the question. We've already dealt with this number here. And you can round. I don't mind if you round. Like this particular number is, 0.0625. You can round it to 0.06. That's much easier, and I'm fine with that. Plus, and then underneath this here, we have to follow BEDMAS. So again, there's not any exponents underneath the root sign. There isn't any division. D is the next one. There is multiplication. So again, the multiplication is 9 times 9. So underneath this here, it's 40 plus 9 times 9 is 81. And again, close bracket and then power there. And again, you just keep copying the number. Okay, and now underneath this umbrella, we have 40 plus 81, which is 121. So 121, again, to the power of 2. So now what we would do is we would then square 121. So I'm just going to go to the next page because I'm running out of room. So what I have is, just to copy down again, I had 0.06 plus 121, and that was to the power of 2. Going to copy down the next line. And then we square root 121. So on your calculators, again, you put in 121, square root symbol, get the number, or vice versa. Square root or 121, square root symbol, or square root symbol 121, vice versa. The number is 11, but it is 11 to the power of 2. We still have that. And actually, that's outside of the bracket. Okay, so now we have to solve what's still inside this bracket here. So we would do this number here plus 11, which gives us, so we're doing 1,463.06 plus 11, which is 1,474 plus 06. And that's to the power of 2. So again, that'd be 1,474.06 times 1,474.06. And that ends up being this number here. So it's 2,172,860.254. All right, I know that is a lot to take in. I know some of you are probably freaking out, and it's totally understandable. But what I would do, highly, highly suggest, guys, is watch this video a couple of times. Follow along with me on a piece of paper to make sure that you're getting the same answers and you're understanding how to do it. Okay, I'm going to give you only one question to do. It's going to be a difficult one, so please try your best to kind of work through it. Try your best to submit it on Google Classroom if you can, and I will see you tomorrow. So the question is to follow on the next page here. Okay, so this is the question here. So again, within these brackets here, you have 7.3 to the power of 3 minus, and then under the square root sign, 3 times 5 plus 7 to the power of 2, close bracket, and then that to the power of 2. So remember, you do things according to the BEDMAS, and do the brackets according to left to right. Okay? Treat this like a bracket as well, and then underneath that, you solve all of that, and then whatever you're left with, then you square root that at the very end. Okay? Good luck. Don't hate me, and I'll see you tomorrow.